Okay, welcome back. Week 4. Can't believe we're already here. So, first week we really focused on standing exercises, really to crank our body into extension, align the body. Week 2 was more floor based. And last week I was giving us the tools to sit as comfortably and effortlessly as possible. What I want to focus on today is our ability to both stretch and stabilize in the side-to-side plane. In Go to the gym, for example, most exercises are done kind of front to back, but in real life, be it picking up groceries for a kid or playing sports, we function side to side and rotationally, but we don't necessarily train our bodies that way. Uh, sure, mid-season? Okay, perfect. So what we're really going to focus on is the stability and balancing side to side. So we'll do a few tests to measure how we're standing, how we're moving, any disparities we might have side to side. We'll do a fun sequence, and then we're going to retest and have a good time with this. So everybody stand on up, please. And march up and down. Okay, great. Stop. Feel free to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And first, just tune into your body. We'll always notice what feels good. So do you feel like you have any strength anywhere? You feel open in any parts? I want you to note that to yourselves. And now also tune into what might not feel good. If you have any pains, any tensions, any discomfort anywhere, any imbalances, which I'm starting to feel myself. Okay, great. Especially since we're going side to side, let's pay attention to the weight distribution on our feet. So do you feel like you have even weight on your right and your left feet? Or might you have more weight on one foot than the other? I work with a lot of people who are in a lot of pain and try to figure out, okay, what's going on pain-wise? And I could see, okay, they might have an injured side. They totally shift their body weight to the other side. So they're loading it, then they compensate, and that creates a lot of side-to-side imbalances. Okay, take a few deep, slow, relaxed breaths. Let's notice the ease and the depth of your breathing. Okay, great. What I want us all to do, let's all side bend to the right and get a sense as to what's going on that left side. Are you tight? If so, how tight are you? Do you feel it more on the side? Are you jamming your lower back? Okay, come on up. And let's go to the other side. Great. And lastly, just walk around about 10, 15 seconds. Simply use baseline for walking as to how that feels. Okay, perfect. So Rama, you're a little bit out of focus. I'm not sure if there's anything you could do. Okay, that's much better. Great. Okay, so we're going to start with a couple of exercises we've done, and we're going to veer from there. So we'll start with standing scapular retractions, just to really open up our body, reset our shoulder blades. So inhale, lift your chest. Shoulder blades just gently come together. Exhale, come back to neutral. We'll do about 15 of those. Great. As effortless as possible. Kara, Susan, Zarema, you ladies look really good doing this. Okay, perfect. Put the palms on the bones in the top of your pelvis, shoulders back and down. Just gently draw your elbows towards each other. Relax your neck, your jaw. Look straight ahead. Breathe nice and deeply and notice if both elbows are going back evenly or is one side a little more restricted than the other. Okay, perfect. Let's reinforce that one more time. So back to the scapular retractions. Let's see if there's any difference in terms of range of motion, fluidity. Big inhale as you go back, exhale as you come forward. Great. Yeah, Susan, it's a nice change in the fluidity. So great job, Kara. You look good. Sorry, I think you're good. Just if you feel like you're muscling it, I can't tell. Just try a little bit less. Perfect. Palms, bones at the top of your pelvis, shoulders back and down. Just really focus on breathing nice and deeply. And let's see if those elbows want to come a little bit closer than they did before. Okay, awesome. One more exercise just to really crank open front of our body, and then we're going to start feeding into the lateral compensation. So as we've been doing standing elbow flexes, curl the tips of your fingers. So it's a half a fist, middle half knuckle, right by your temple, in front of your ears. Okay, great. Exhale, bring those elbows together. Great, and inhale, go as far back as you comfortably can. Nice, everybody, very good. Susan, let yourself kind of like pivot off that middle half knuckle, because what's happening is like your wrist is bending. So Raymond, can I see you from the side? I just, yes, so have your hands in front of your ears. Kara, very, very good, great form. Yeah, in case you're back, you're a little out of focus. Just, yeah, right in front. Yeah, much better, great. Okay, awesome, perfect. So to start addressing the connective tissue line along the sides, that might bring one shoulder down, the other hip up for imbalance, or rotate leg out from the hip, or ankle out from the, or foot out from the knee. First one is we're going to keep promoting extension, release our tricep, go down the body. So we'll do a standing tricep stretch. So we'll do our left side first. So left elbow vertical. Gently grab the top of your left elbow with your right hand. Allow your shoulder blade to slide down the rib cage. Neck is elongated, look straight ahead. Great, and breathe nice and deeply. Just make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. Perfect. Shake your arms out a little bit. And then when we go to the right arm, let's see if it's tighter, if it's looser, if you have more range of motion, less than you did with the other side. Great. Susan, just make sure you're not tucking your chin. You want nice and elongated. Yeah. Think about your arms like really, really light. Good. Let's give ourselves about 10, 15 seconds. We'll do each side one more time and notice the difference. If you could only get your elbow a certain height the first time, can you get it any higher? You're really tight. Is there any more fluidity? Because this is really important. If our shoulders tip forward and we try to do side movements, our whole body's going to be imbalanced. But if you could reset, it could have a big effect in terms of being able to balance our body side to side. Okay, so left elbow up, shoulder blades slide down the rib cage, elongate your neck, look straight ahead, relax your stomach. Great. Kara, I'd be curious the lighting. If you turn that big light overhead, I'm just wondering if it'd be a little bit, I could see a little bit better. Yeah, it's actually better. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Shake your arms for a second. And let's do the right side one more time. Okay, great. I want us to establish now a new baseline for walking. So walk around. What I want you to know is if you feel any more open, especially from your chest walking. I'm going to test myself. Okay, great. So if you feel a little bit more open than you did at the beginning of class, raise your hand, please. Okay, so all three of you ladies do. Okay, great. Perfect. So now we're really going to go more dynamically, side to side. So we can stand feet hip width apart or maybe a little bit wider. Mirror me. So I'll put my right hand on my right leg. If you could put your left hand on your left leg. And all I want you to do is a simple side bend. Notice if your pelvis wants to rotate forward. If it does, keep it back. Breathe nice and deeply. Careful if you have any lower back issues. If you do, you could just sit it out. Inhale, stomach expands. Exhale, it goes back in. And just really notice the stretch on your right side. Also, try to keep even weight on both feet. You're going to want to shift over to your left on the arches of both feet. Like I know I'm really tight on my left side and not as much on my right. And I'll ask you to gauge as well if you feel tighter on one side than the other. Okay, great. Come on up. It's same exact thing on the other side. So your right hand on your right leg, simple side bend. Elongate your neck so you're not tucking your chin. Yeah, Kara, good job. Susan, Zareta, you ladies look good. So ask yourself, are you tighter or are you looser on your left side compared to the other? Okay, great. Let's do each side again. We're really going to reinforce that lateral release. I'll add an upper body component if you feel comfortable. If not, just do exactly what you were doing. So back to your left side, left hand on your left leg. Even when on the arches of both feet, if you feel comfortable and want to add the overhead component, do so, but just make sure that back hip does not rotate forward. So it's simply lateral flexion. Again, keep space, elongation in your neck. Good. Deep, slow, relaxed breathing. If you're muscling it, it's going to shut down the ability to really stretch those muscles. Okay, slowly come out of that and go to the other side. Okay, great. So that was primarily to release lateral compensation on the side we were bending away from. The next exercise is going to have a component both to release, but also to stabilize as well. So say, for example, I'm analyzing somebody's gait and I watch them walk and they heel strike, they land on the right side. A lot of people, hip shifts out. And what's that going to do? It's going to cause grinding in the hip, in the back, and in the knee. So we really want to promote stability side to side as well. So next exercise is going to have a releasing and stability component. So they're going to be 3 widths. First width is feet hip width apart pointing straight. Second width will be about 4 inches wider with your feet, and then 4 inches wider than that. So arms at your feet pointing straight ahead. If you're able to have your arms at your side where your shoulder blades are together and it's comfortable, great. If not, keep your hands at your side. Now from here, we're side bending. We're not moving our arms independently. Our arms are an extension of our torso. We're going to inhale. We're going to go as much as we can one way until the hip wants to rotate or until you want to come off your foot. So inhale up, stable. Exhale, inhale down, exhale up. Now inhale other way. Great. Exhale up. I'm going to do 5 each direction. Good job. Remember, the challenge is stability here. Don't want shifting. Yeah, the ladies look really good. Sarita, do a little bit less. I think as you're going down, you're like really shifting. So stability and just side bend with that pelvis being nice and stable. Kara, Susan, you both look really good doing this. 1 more each. Okay, perfect. We'll give ourselves a couple of seconds before we do the second width. Okay, great. So move your feet about 4 inches wider on each side. Make sure they're both pointing straight ahead. Arms back about mid-chest level, shoulder blades gently together. Same thing, pelvic stability and lateral flexion. So inhale down, exhale up. Just from the torso, pelvis nice and steady. Good. Susan, if you could have your hands facing, your palms facing forward, because we're trying to create also extension, opening in our upper body. Yeah, much better. Perfect. Give ourselves a couple of seconds, and we're going to go even wider. When I send you the PDF, this has doing it against the wall, and you could use the wall as a reference to notice as you go one side, does the pelvis come on off? So when I'm doing this with some therapy clients, I have them do it with their back against the wall because really trying to establish get them out of this, one shoulder higher than the other, but often it has to do with tension on the side, pulling shoulder down, hip up. Probably has to do with like compensation on the other side. So yeah, use the wall. So even wider with your feet, shoulder blades together. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice. Much, much better. Okay, great. Ladies, go for a walk. What I want to know is if you feel any more lifted, especially from your pelvis, because I'll often feel that after kind of like lateral strengthening. Okay, so from a show of hands, if you feel a little bit more lifted, extended from this area in particular after what we just did, raise your hands, please. Okay, well, I don't have to ask the opposite. Perfect. So I was saying how often we'll shift our body weight to one side. So say, for example, I twist my right ankle. To protect the tissue, a good temporary protective mechanism will be shifting my body weight to my left. But over time, I'm overloading the left side, and this is actually my body. So I might develop an overuse injury like iliotibial band syndrome, ITB. So I could do one of two things. I'll either then shift my body weight back to my right, so brings the hip up, pelvis up, shoulder down, which we were just releasing. And what head always wants to be straight, so the head will be straight. So the neck muscles on my left will over engage, and these guys will be really tight. Or if I'm shifting my body weight over to the left side to offload that, I might then start to bend my left knee. And over time, each time I take a step, because this left knee is bent, it's going to be pushing the weight to the front of the knee. So it could create a lot of knee issues that way. So to kind of balance that compensation, something like a standing quad stretch, which we could do one of two ways, either just holding your leg like this, or holding onto something in front of you where your upper body is vertical, and put your foot up on a chair or a couch. But what I really want us to focus on is keeping the bones in the right position. So rather than your body kind of like shifting over to the side, do whatever you have to keep your bones in the right position. So hip, knee, foot in alignment, and let the body stretch with the bones in the right position. And from the side, we want your knees parallel. So don't want it too far forward or too far back. So just whatever side you started with, stay on that side, elongate your body. Okay. Susan, are you able to do it? Maybe grab another chair and put your foot up on something, because I want both of your hands even. Yeah. Great, much better. Great. We'll do about 10 more seconds on whichever side you're starting with. And sorry that maybe if you hold on to something, but you want to keep your pelvis steady, forward, your shoulders forward. Yeah, as opposed to like rotating. Okay, great. Switch sides, please. And notice if there's a difference in tension in the front of your thigh, one side compared to the other. As I was doing, just notice if your hip's shifting out. If it is, just really elongate. Okay, we'll do each side one more time and then we'll veer from there. So however you did it the first way, elongate your body. Notice if you're any more stable, just standing on the other foot. And does the stretch feel any differently? Maybe it moves from like by your knee or from the top of the pelvis more to the belly of the muscle. Okay, great. And other side, please, one more time. And as we normally do, if there's a big disparity left to right, the first set is that's starting to even out. Even 1% improvements would be a great sign. Okay, perfect. So one that we've done before that really promotes natural hip flexion, but it's also a big component in terms of stability in the pelvis because the hip's going to want to shift out, is we're going to have a folding chair in front of us, or it could be something a little bit lower. We're going to bring our right foot up, so it creates a 90-degree angle, ankle, bone, knee, hip. But if this is too much, have your foot a little bit lower and just have the ankle bone right below the knee. Good. Perfect. Upper body nice and elongated. Feel like you're even on the arches of both feet. And just look straight ahead. And the position itself, the hip flexion position of that top leg, is strengthening the deeper structural muscles. That's really going to turn the pelvis into extension, extend the rest of our spine, um, do a lot of good for the body. Okay, great. Let's switch sides, please. To left foot up, ankle bone, middle of your knee, hip. Just make sure, same thing, the pelvis does not shift to the side. Look straight ahead, elongate your body. Just breathe nice and deeply. Kara, are you leaning back or is that just the angle of your camera?
The
I think it's
angle
the
of my,
angle. Okay, thanks.
yeah, I got you sitting on a pillow.
Okay, that's better. Thanks. It's a really good job, Susan. Wow, you've really improved with this. It's excellent. Okay, we're gonna do each side one more time. We'll add an upper body component if you can do it, but if not, just doing it how we did it's gonna reinforce those patterns. So right leg up, make sure you're nice and steady, width on the arches of both feet, no shifting at your hips. If it's comfortable to you, you can either interlace your hands behind your head, pull those elbows back nice and gently, or simply push your arms back. Breathe nice and deeply. So neck is relaxed. Good, really good. Very impressed. Awesome. Give yourselves a couple of seconds. And let's do that left side one more time. So left foot up, hip, knee, ankle bone. Nice 90-degree angle. Elongate your body, flat on the arches of both feet. Once you're there, if you want to add that upper body component, by all means do so. Good. Okay, great. Walk around. See how walking feels. Just notice for yourselves if you feel like you're lifting your leg any more naturally than you did beforehand, and then we'll come on back. Okay, so we're promoting more natural hip flexion, walking through the front of our hip, but natural gait has two components. It's also a hip extension, the push-off component. Well, what I want to really do as a theme today is stabilizing and stretching this area. It's this challenge the side-to-side stability while promoting more natural hip extension as well. So we're going to do something called inline glute squeezes. If you have to hold on, by all means do that. What I'm going to have you do is you're going to have your right heel right in front of your left foot, namely between the first and the second toes, and feet pointing straight. You can hold on if you need to. What we want to do is really feel like you're balanced on the arches of both feet. Okay. So weights on the arches of both feet, so you could like gently lift your toes if you need to. Look straight ahead, elongate your body. Now inhale, you're going to contract your glutes, your butt muscles. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Squeeze, release. We'll do about 20 of them. Just going to make sure we're all muted for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in this afternoon.
Squeeze your glutes, release. And the challenge will be on the back leg. That's the stability challenge. So you're probably going to feel it more on that back side. Do about 5 more. Okay, perfect. So now let's switch. So left heel directly in front of our right foot between the first and the second toes. Elongate your body. Try to get the weight on the arches of both feet. Relax your arms, anything else that wants to help out. But again, if you need to hold on, inhale, squeeze, exhale, release. Now let's see how one side feels compared to the other. More stability, less stability this way. Okay, great. We're going to go 2 more times back and forth. So right foot in front of the left. Be nice and balanced. Elongate your body. Hold on to if you need. Inhale, contract your glutes. Exhale, release. Great. And notice if those muscles want to fire a little bit more, any more powerful now. Great. Switch. Left in front of right, please. Be nice and balanced. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. If your stomach is helping out, just let it go. Totally relaxed. Perfect. Give yourselves a couple of seconds. We'll have a theme of like buns of steel as well, because I'll ask you to do each side one last time, really to promote that side to side stability. What we're doing now is actually a pretty advanced exercise, because when you narrow that base of support, it's challenging on that stability. They're really both stabilizing and strengthening as well. Okay, so last one, right foot in front of left. Balance on the arches of both feet, elongate your body. Check in with your body, make sure no other muscles want to help out. Hold on if need be. Inhale, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, release. And let's see A, the nature of the contraction. Are you contracting any stronger? And B, if you had more stability on one side than the other, is that starting to even out? Be a great sign. Awesome. And switch sides one more time. So left foot in front of right. And elongate that body. Okay, great. So I'll ask you to go for a walk again. What I'll often experience after doing that exercise is just like a nice heel to toe feeling when you're walking. So notice if you're getting that as well. Okay, so from a show of hands, if you feel like you're getting a little bit more of that natural foot rolling now compared to before walking, please raise your hands. Ooh, okay. And okay, so some yes, some so, and that makes total sense. So thanks for that feedback. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna march in place, called steam engine. So hands right in front of you. What we wanna do is we're gonna lift, but we're gonna lift from the inner groin. Ideally, try to create that 90-degree angle, ankle bone, knee, hip. What's going to want to happen is our pelvis is going to want to shift to the side. So we really want to be stable, both side to side, and keep extension. So you don't want your pelvis flexing back. So we'll do about 10 to 15 each. Just do it at your own pace. So inhale, lift. Exhale down. We're going to alternate and really try to be steady, side to side. Boom, boom. Good. Mm-hmm. Keep the nice extension in your spine. Okay, perfect. So we're going to do that. We're going to do an exercise. We're going to keep coming back and forth. So now, as we did before, palms on the bones, top of our pelvis, shoulders back and down, look straight ahead. Now, as long as you have no lower back issues, we're going to add a little bit of a forward bend. So keeping your legs straight and to contract your quads, now lean forward from the pelvis, but only so much, keeping this nice extended arch in your back. If at any point your back starts to run that way, that's all you're going towards. And now shift the weight to the balls of your feet. So not your toes, but forward on the balls of your feet like you're ski jumping. Keep pulling those elbows towards each other. Great, and breathe nice and deeply. Oh, very impressed with everybody here. So we're aligning our bones, we're aligning our leg, we're pulling into the deeper structural muscles, we're creating extension of our spine, and doing a lot more actually. Okay, great. Okay, gonna march in place again from the hip flexors, up, down. As stable as possible. Okay, great. So standing arm circles, arms at your side, about mid-chest level, curl just the tips of your fingers. Keeping those shoulder blades together, we're gonna go forward, about 20 of them. Good job. Okay, relax. Okay, palms up, shoulders back and down. We're gonna go backwards. Perfect, one more time, marching in place. See stability now. Okay, great job. One last exercise, and then we're gonna retest our body. Standing overhead extension. Arms in front of you, fingers interlaced. Turn your hands the other way. Arms above your head, shoulders down. Just breathe nice and deeply. Okay, great job, everybody. Wow. So here, march up and down, just a little bit. And stop. Close your eyes, please. Tune into your body. Simply notice how you're feeling now. Anything change in terms of how you're standing? The weight on your feet? If you had tension in a certain area, has that changed at all? You can tune into your breathing. Okay, and also go for a walk one more time. Let's see how gait feels to you now. Yeah, I find when we really start to balance out and stabilize side to side, it makes a huge difference walking. So as you're doing the sequence that I'll send, just notice, does anything change in terms of if you had imbalances or stability wise, or just how your foot hits the floor each time you do it? It's additive. The more you do it, the more these patterns will be ingrained and will allow us to progress that much quicker together. So I applaud each and every one of you. If you're doing this subsequent to being live, just let me know how it worked for you. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. And if not, Kara, Susan, Zareta, great to see you all. And
Thanks so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. And I hope to see you all next Wednesday, or next Tuesday, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.